Good day. I am so giddy. I'm happy. I I have so much to say on this video, and I'm going to share some fun little things that I'm just thinking because I just feel like it. The first one, my microphone. Got to share this little tidbit about my microphone. The other day, I did a video. It was to my husband. It was to my husband, for my husband, and I was going to publish it publicly. I was thinking maybe Father was telling me to do that, but I wasn't sure. I didn't have 100% peace about it, but I just felt like I needed to say some things. Sat down, did the video. As always, I thought, well, I don't have to publish it. Like, I can say it, and then if I don't have peace about it, I just won't do it. Well, it was like an hour and 30 minutes long, this video was. And turns out the microphone cut off. It died about an hour and 15 minutes in. So last 15 minutes, you can't hear a damn thing I'm saying. My lips are moving, but there's no audio to it at all because the microphone died. When I sat down at the computer and found that out, I was like, okay, I wasn't supposed to post the video. I was just supposed to process those things, say those things. It's all good. But I had been wondering about the microphone life, battery life. There's a little light. Oh, see that little green light? It's supposed to be on. If it shuts off, that means my microphone is dead. So I've got to watch that. But I decided, have smarticles. This is proof that an old dog can learn new tricks. What I decided to do is after I use the microphone every time, I'm just going to automatically charge it. I know it's not all the way dead, the battery, but I can charge it anyway. So today, when I get done with my little microphone, I'm going to plug it in and charge it. Then it'll be ready to go next time. Wow. Wish I'd have thought of that before, right? It's never too late to learn, people. It's never too late to learn. And I'm happy that I'm learning. Even though it's something so silly, I'm happy that I'm learning. So that makes me happy. The other thing I was thinking about was in Revelation 12, it says that the dragon spewed a river out of his mouth to overtake the woman. Well, I am that woman. I've said that on other videos. And all over my blog, iamclearlycrystal.com. And I have been waiting for years for the earth to swallow up that river because I haven't liked it. The river is a river of lies and deception. It's a river of lies and deception because the river of life that comes out of Father, Christ, and Holy Spirit's mouth is truth. They speak truth. But the dragon, all the demonic, speak lies and deception. So it was a river of lies and deception that he spewed out of his mouth to overtake me. It got swallowed up yesterday. It got swallowed up. I was so excited. And it's so silly how it seemed to go down. When I told Hannah about it, she goes, that makes so much sense. And I'm like, right? Vanessa said the same thing. And she's like, it's so, I would have never, ever thought that. I'm like, I know. It's always so simple in his kingdom. It's not grandiose. It's not obnoxious, loud, like man's ways are. They put on this performance. Like in the NAR, the New Apostolic Reformation, oh my God, the kingdom crazies, the charismatic crazies, always putting on quite a show. Father doesn't operate that way. He just doesn't. It's humility. He's humble. It's so cool. So I I woke up yesterday morning and we were talking about his kingdom and how he's going to bring all my promises, all the promises he made me. He told me back in 2018, promises made, promises kept. That was a particularly bad portion of my time in hell. And I remember sitting up all night. We sat up all night this one particular night in the dark talking. And I didn't sleep hardly at all anyway, but that night I'll never forget. I'll never forget that night. And that night he said a lot of things that really helped me, really comforted me in that darkness. And one of the things he said was, promises made, promises kept. I am a man of my word. I'm a man of honor. When I make a promise, I keep my promise. And that comforted me that night. It helped me through that really bad night. That was one of the worst nights of my life. One of them. And that promises made, promises kept really comforted me greatly. That's what I'm going to say about that. So he was saying, all those promises I gave you, they're going to come to fruition. They're going to become real. They're going to become reality. And I'm like, oh, I love this. I love this so much. Yes, 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 and amen. Let it be. Make it so. So I'm working through that. I'm looking at it. What else do you want me to know? And I had heard Christ. He started talking and he was saying, I'm going to give you my kingdom. I'm going to give you my kingdom. And I was like, okay, wow. I'm a little bit confused by that because some of my beliefs about heaven and earth and the kingdom, how Father runs heaven, Christ runs earth. I don't want to share it all. I got to figure out, oh, give me just a minute. I got to figure out how I'm going to say this. As I talked to him, I was like, okay, what does that mean for the bride then? And he reminded me of how, okay, to back up, years ago when in the beginning of this male child saga, when it started, Hannah and I were having a conversation. And she said to me one time something really profound. She said, I think it's time for renegotiation of the contract. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So I sat down with Father and I said, listen, we got to have a prenup here. We got to have a prenup. I get everything. You've trapped me in hell. This, like, I got down to 100 pounds. When I started, I was 125. I lost 25 pounds and got down to 100 pounds. I was languishing is what he called it. Languishing, you're languishing. I'm like, whose fault is that? Because it sure as hell ain't mine. But I couldn't, oh, it's just terrible. But I said to him, you put me here. You owe me. I want to own hell. You've trapped me here. So when this is done, I want to own it all. Heaven, earth, hell. Sign the title, the deed, over to me. You give everything to me. Period. I own it all. It's either all or nothing. That's who I am. I'm 100% in or 100% out. So I said, you made me this way, so you need to give me all of it or none of it. Because if you're not going to give me all of it, I'm out. You can shove your crown up your own backside. Give it to somebody else. That was the renegotiation. So he was saying to me, Christ was saying to me yesterday, I'm going to give you my kingdom. And I was like, I did ask for that. And then he was showing, we were talking about my plans for his kingdom, how he's sending me, the second Eve, to come and to reverse the curse that the first Eve put on the people, mankind in general, both male and female, but also then female, because she brought curses upon the female's childbirth, but also the land. She cursed the land. Therefore, I have to come back and I have to reverse the curse that was put on Christ. This second Adam was here to reverse the curse on mankind, the land, male and female. But also, so then I have to come and do the same, reverse the curse on male, female, land, the earth. It's very complicated, very complex, multifaceted, many layers, very, very complicated. So he was reminding me, you know, the work that I have to do is very, the work in the future with the earth and the people is very detailed, very complex, and very valuable. I have to clean it up. I've already done over 30 years of work, but I got a lot more to go in front of me yet. So that's part of my wages, to just put it that way. So I'm going to own the world, the earth, hell, heaven, mankind, the kingdoms, man's kingdoms, Father's kingdom, Christ's kingdom. Going to own it all. That's the prenup. That's the prenup. So I'm not going to marry a man unless he gives it all to me. I'm just not doing that. Like, you got to give it all or nothing. That's just how I feel about it. I'm not like, you know, in the NAR, they're all about the Esther, the prophesied Esther woman, which is me. And they all think that the story of Esther is beautiful, but it's painful. They're looking at the glory of it. They're not looking at what Esther had to go through. How she had to marry a man outside of her tribe, outside of her nation. He was not an Israelite. That was a big deal. She had to give her virginity to a man, a stranger, and she gave everything up. Her nationality when she went into this purification period, she kept it hidden, secret, right? And then I wasn't planning on going here, so I'm like, why are we going here, and where are we going? And in that, he didn't love her. That man did not love her. He had a lot of women before her and probably a lot of women after her. And she only could come in front of him when he summoned her. And when she had to go before him, she was terrified of him, because if he didn't want to see her and she summoned him, he could end her life. She didn't have security with that man, emotionally speaking. You know what I'm saying? When you're terrified to approach your husband, you're not feeling too secure. That's proof he doesn't love you. It's toxic. It's a toxic relationship. And when they had the banquet, he said, "What is your request? I will give you up to half my kingdom." Up to half. No thanks. I don't want up to half. Because now you're telling me that I'm not worth all of it. That's why I said to Father, it's either all or nothing. Because you got to prove to me I am worth all of it to you. You've got to show me that I am worth all of it to you. There you go. So all these Esther people, and then NAR, who the Esther Me Too movement, I'm looking at them going, do you not understand what really happened there? You're like drooling over Esther and how her husband loved her and she had fame and fortune. And I'm like, she was an unloved woman. Even though the Bible says he loved her more than all the other women. Okay, let's just think about that statement there. He loved her more than all the other women. He's not talking about love there. It's a physical thing, okay? Let's say he lusted after her more than any other woman, okay? That would be a better way to do it. No, thank you. Okay. Why did we go into the Esther thing? I don't know why we went there. Maybe he'll tell me in just a minute. Let's go back to the world. Oh, I know what it was. Okay. So I'm not like Esther. I'm okay with up to half. I want it all or nothing. My grandpa raised me to be either all in or all out. That's who I am. So Christ was saying, I'm going to give you my kingdom. I'm like, hallelujah, hallelujah. I love it. That's great. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. So he's telling me all this stuff yesterday and how I earned it. It's wages. I earned it. And I have a lot of work ahead of me, which will prove that I am worthy of it. It'll prove that I'm worthy of it, but also I'm going to take ownership and I'm going to treat it like my own because it is mine. Okay, that being said, the male child saga and that whole, all the lies, the river of lies and deception with that conversation got swallowed up in the world. So cool. So cool. Because I realized, oh, wow, I'm going to own all of man's kingdoms. I'm going to own it all. I truly own it all. It is mine. Christ promised it to me. Father promised it to me. Holy Spirit has promised it to me. It is mine. And with that, it just felt like all of it got swallowed up. All the lies and deception that the dragon had been spewing at me all these years that I've been trying to, not drown in. Checking on my little green light. My hair's in the way. I realized that it was all gone. I took ownership. Inside, 100%, 100% took ownership of it all. It's my kingdom. Oh my goodness. So I was sitting there and I was like, wow, what just happened? Because I live in the twilight zone. And as I walk with the moon under my feet, I'm just guided by Holy Spirit second by second. And I'm in this river of life and it's just flowing and I don't know where I'm going and I don't have anything to hang on to. I'm just flowing. And I was like, what is happening? And I was like, wow, it's like that whole thing just got swallowed up, like by the world. And then I thought, kind of like Jonah got swallowed up by the whale. And then I went, Revelation 12. The river of lies and deception got swallowed up by the earth, which is the world. I said, Hannah, it just got swallowed up. The river got swallowed up by the world, the earth. So I told her, and she's like, wow, that's so simple. Makes so much sense. Would have never guessed that scripture meant that. I was like, I know, right? That's how he works. That's how he works. It's so weird. It's so weird. That was exciting for me. Okay, so then I was thinking about deep cleaning. I want to talk about that in just a minute. But I thought about it this morning. I was like, okay, I need to do this video. I feel like Father wants me to do a video. And then I was thinking, there's really hardly anybody here watching the videos. Just maybe a handful of people. Maybe. And when I first started doing this on my blog back in 2020, I started it in 2021 in December, a little bit before Christmas is when I got the blog. And then I designed it, and then I got it to just the way I wanted it to look. Then I hired a group to build it just the way I had it, the appearance of it. So I designed it, put it just the way I wanted it, then told them, I want you to build it, because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes you need to do. And I didn't want to learn how to do all that stuff. I've done it before, but I didn't have the desire. I didn't feel like that's what Father wanted me to do. So I hired this company and I said, now I want you to build it just like that and give me everything behind the scenes to work. So it started in 2022, January of 2022. And they wanted to market it for me, because that was part of the package, was marketing. And I said, no, I don't want to market it. And they're like, that's part of the package. Like, you're paying for that. I said, no marketing. Just get it built for me and I'll worry about the marketing. And they just didn't understand why I wouldn't want to utilize the marketing that I had paid for. But I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Because I knew I was supposed to be hidden. And Father told me, because we were having a lot of discussions about marketing, SEO, that kind of stuff. And he was saying, I will rank you. It's not Google's job to rank you. I will rank you. And I was like, okay. So he was saying, I will market you in my time. I will rank you in my time. How I want to do it, that's how I will do it. So I've been secret. I've been hidden on the web since 2022, the beginning of 2022. There's hardly anybody reading my blog. Hardly anybody. And at first, that bothered me. I was like, Father, why am I doing this? I understand that I'm supposed to be hidden. I know that. I understand that. But there were different times where I was getting frustrated by that. I was like, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. I'm so tired of just writing stuff and there's nobody there. And I had doubts. Are they really going to come? Are the people really going to show up? There was just so much flesh in me that I had to deal with. That was part of the reason why he did it the way he did it. Now, I already knew that I had to do a blog and I had to get a lot of archive posts done. I knew that. He had shown me that several years before, that you're going to do a blog, you're going to have to get a lot of archive posts so that when people come, there's a lot of stuff there for them to read. So I knew I was building something for the future that was in the present and also the past. I knew that, but I still had a lot of frustrations that I had to work through, which I did, and I finally got through that. And then I kind of liked being hidden. It's weird because we just had this conversation day before yesterday, the girls and I, because I'm an INFJ. So I am typically an introvert. Typically, I recharge. I can be alone. I could live on a deserted island and be all alone. I really could, and I would be fine. Just really could. But I can also be an extrovert. I can do the extroverted thing. I can do it. I've done it before. And there was a time where I was truly extroverted, leading groups, lots and lots of quote unquote friends. And then Father brought me into the cave, as he called it. He wanted me to be in a cave. He wanted me to be hidden. So I came and I did a lot of studying and a lot of working with Father. Did that for years. And then he said, okay, now it's time to come out of the cave. And I'm like, no. And the funny thing is, when he told me to go into the cave, I didn't want to go into the cave. I fought that. I was like, no, I don't want to. I like being out here doing all this. And then he was like, no, you got to go in the cave. Went, fought, cried, got through that, worked through that, got okay, was in the cave. Then I loved the cave. I fell in love with the cave. And then he said, it's time to come out of the cave. I'm like, no, I like the cave. You know, always, that's just how I am. And then he said, come out of the cave. So now I'm hidden, see? I'm hidden. There's hardly anybody here. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, I'm like a secret weapon about to be deployed. No, 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 no. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, no one knows who I am really. And I'm going to bring shock and awe to the masses. Like, it's going to be a big surprise when I come. They're going to be shocked. They're truly going to be shocked. And I was hidden on the World Wide Web, the internet, the interweb for years. Just building this platform, building. He had told me one time, I'm going to launch you. That's what he said. I'm going to launch you. But we have to build the platform in order for you to be launched from. Now, that's my blog and that's my channels, but also it's truth. Build a platform of truth. Let me check my little light. Platform of truth. Like, you got to stand on something, right? The truth. Not the sand, but the rock. So I've been building a platform of truth that I stand on and that I'm going to build on. Build this school, this home, this temple, this body, this hospital, this rehab center, this therapy center. It's so many things, like so many things. So anyway, I am really excited because I feel like a secret weapon about to be deployed. I'm hidden, ready to come out, launch, explode all over the people. It's exciting. The other day, I don't remember what it was. We were talking about, Father and I, something about, I think it was the 7 seals, opening the 7 seals. And he started singing to me, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. I can hardly contain myself. Which leads me to the next one. Deep clean. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This was the topic of conversation this morning. And it's got me excited. It's got me really excited. When I owned a home, I had a routine. And twice a year, in the spring and in the fall, I would do what I called a deep clean of the house. We would go through, my children and I, they were my little helpers, we would go through every single room in the house and do a deep clean. And when I say deep clean, I mean everything got cleaned. My oldest daughter, I named her the CCC lady. She did the cracks, crevices, and corners. So all the cracks, crevices, and corner in every room had to be clean. Take the broom, sweep it all, wipe it down in case there were cobwebs, which usually we didn't have cobwebs. I kept it pretty clean. So we would go through every drawer, every cabinet, the cabinets, all the outsides of the cabinets and the insides of the cabinets got washed down. I would, get my little bucket of Dawn soap and water, a washcloth, and I would wash everything. Everything got washed. Cleaned inside and out. We went through all of the clothes. We went through all of the kids' toys. Anything that was broken got pitched. If they didn't use it anymore, we didn't need it, it got put in a pile to take to charity. Like, that's what we did. Twice a year, a deep clean. Every single thing in that home was gone through, sorted through, processed. Do we keep it? Do we get rid of it? I got rid of clutter. I wasn't one to store and keep junk. I'm not a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder. I don't hoard internally and I don't hoard externally. Makes me feel good to get rid of stuff. It lightens my load, lightens my burden, less to think about. So it was funny because Donovan, oh my God, he would get, sometimes I would say at different times, guys, have you seen whatever? I can't find it. And Donovan always would react the same way. He'd throw his hands up. I don't know, you probably got rid of it in the deep clean. And I'd be like, ooh, maybe I did. I don't remember. It was just a kind of a running joke with Donovan. I don't know, maybe you got rid of it in the deep clean. Those deep cleans frustrated him so much. Oh man, they were so important though, and so powerful, and so, they felt so good to me. It felt so good. I always, like, it was like taking an inventory and getting rid of junk. It's amazing how many toys, broken toys, can get thrown in the toy box or shoved under the bed, you know. Like, I loved getting the house clean like that. Cleaning house. Time to clean house. Which makes me think, that's what I did with my storage unit. I went through and did a deep clean of my storage unit. Sorted through everything and got rid of a bunch of stuff that I didn't need. And things that I didn't want to get rid of per se, because they were treasures to me. Some of those things went to my kids. And the pact was, in the family was, okay, these things came from mom. They're important to the family. So if you get done with them, you want to get rid of them. You don't want them anymore. You ask mom and the other siblings before you get rid of them. They get first dibs on it. You don't just take them and get rid of them because someone in the family might want them. Mom might want them back because she may have a house at that time and she can take them. So that's the pact that we made in our family with the things that I gave them. These are to stay in the family. Somebody else might want them if you're done with them. Okay. So, since Christ said yesterday, I'm going to give you my kingdom, and I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, Christ is coming to give me his kingdom and the keys to his kingdom. Like, that was on repeat, just spinning. I feel like I'm singing this song all the time now. You're making me dizzy, my head is spinning. I sing that all the time. Like, my head is spinning all the time. And so I was spinning. Christ is coming, and he's going to give me the keys to the kingdom. I have so many plans. Oh my gosh. So many plans. I've had plans for years. Vanessa and I have been talking about them for years. Okay, if he gives me the world, then I'm going to do these things. Oh my goodness, I have so many plans. Oh my. All I'm waiting on is Christ to come, give me his kingdom and the keys to his kingdom. With that, I will get the power and the authority, the control. I will be the control tower. I will have the power, the control, the authority to do the things I want to do. And let me tell you, we're going to do a deep clean of this house. This house. And that's what he was talking about this morning. He was like, you've got a lot of work ahead of you to clean up the land and the people. I've shared that on the blog. There's something that's been bothering me for oodles years, and that is the toxicity, the pollution on this planet, and not just in the land, but the people. So it's internal in the people and external land. And in 2020, after my dad died, Father had me go out west, and I did 34 days, 11,000 miles, driving around to different national parks. So much fun. So much fun. And I was saying to him, you know, what you've done here on earth is beautiful. It's beautiful. The landscape, nature. Now, what man has done to it, to pollute it, to make it toxic, sick, diseased, like Scar in the Pride Land. Not so pleased with that. Not so proud of that. Not impressed. And I said, the body that you created, how you've made it triune, body, soul, and spirit. There's 3 bodies in one. And there's 3 hearts. There's 3 brains. There's 3 of 3 of all the internal organs, right? 3 sets or 3. And how they interact, they're intertwined. And just the physical body itself, how it functions with the cells and the nervous system with the cardiovascular system and the lymphatic system and the immune system. And you put all these systems together. up how they work independently, but they work together and they work in tandem with mind-boggling cool, right? It gets me so excited when I study the body. I get so giddy about it. I love the physical body, studying the physical body. The anatomy and physiology is so cool. So cool. So flippin' cool. He's so smart. Hold on one second. I got so excited. I totally lost track of where I was going. Let me have a drink. I'll think. I hear the song, "You're making me dizzy, my head is spinning." That is true. I am just like ADHD right now. Triune, the body. So the body, you know, we can hoard and be toxic in our body. People, like the fat, how it hoards the toxins, right? People hoard toxins in their soul and in their spirit. And then the land has all these toxins. And I was saying to Father that day, I'm so impressed with nature and I'm impressed with the physical body, but I'm not impressed with mankind. I don't mean just male gender. I mean mankind in general. The toxicity, the pollution within man, how society is so polluted, so toxic, so sick, so full of disease. It's disgusting. So I was telling him that. I said, I'm not impressed with man. What you did with man, I'm not impressed. Earth, I'm pretty impressed. Body, I'm pretty impressed. The nature things, but man, the malignancy, oh, not impressed. So I want to do a deep clean. I have lots of ideas on how to clean up the earth and the people. That's why, in part, I have earned the privilege, the right to own the world, but I also will earn the privilege and right. I'm going to take ownership of it, and what I'm going to do is clean it up so that Christ can return to his pride land and it be a clean land with a clean people. See? If I own it, if I have the title, the deed in my hand, then I will take greater pride in what I own. It's like my house. When I own a house, I keep it clean. And every year I do two deep cleans, big deep cleans that are important to me. I go through everything. So I would treat the world, the earth, just like I would treat the land that I used to own and the house that I built on that land. I would treat it with honor and respect. And I would, what is the term? Let me think. It's honor, but it's more than that. It's not recycle, restore. It is restore. I would restore the pride land for Christ. I care about the resources on this earth. I care about the land. I would be a good steward. There we go. Years ago, gosh, 30 years ago. It's at least 30. It's been over 30 years ago. It was when I first came into the covenant with Christ. I said to Father, I need you to make me a good steward of your money, of your resources. I need you to make me a wise money manager, a wise steward of the resources that you've given me and that you will give me. And he did that. He did that. I got into investing and started putting money away. That's how we were able to build a house. He made me a wise money manager, a wise steward, a good steward over his resources. So owning the earth, I've already proven to Father that I would be a good manager because I have been a good manager of the resources, whether that's financial or it's people or it's things, it's land, it's property. I have always been a good manager for him. a good steward, because over 30 years ago, I asked him to do that to me, for me. So I've been a good steward of the resources he's always given me, property and people. Therefore, I've earned the right to own the earth, heaven, and hell, and own Satan. I own his ass. I own his ass. He is mine. I've crushed his head with my heel. He belongs to me now. He works for me. No more cowering in fear to that one. So, by owning it, by giving me the title, it would give me ownership to be a good steward of it. If I don't own it, there's a different perspective. If I own it, I will run it wisely. It makes me think of my grandpa, and I don't know that I should share that story. But it came to my mind, didn't it? Maybe that's what you want. Okay, I'm going to share that story. Woo! Didn't think I'd ever share that story publicly. Okay, my grandpa was dying, and I moved him into my home. His brother, my uncle, great uncle, called me and said, "Grandpa's lost his mind. He's out of his mind." So I went over there, and the medication had got him whacked out. He didn't know where he was at. He was really struggling. And so I just took him home with me. Got 3 kids, homeschooling 3 kids, stay-at-home mom. Mitchell was, I think, maybe 2 at the time, 3, 4. He was toddling around. He was a toddler, I think. So he's got cancer. I bring him home 2 nights in a row. He didn't sleep at all. He did not sleep at all. I was exhausted. He kept thinking there was a fire. A lot going on. And then he got combative. And this man was like 6'5". He was huge. This man was huge. And we had a little kerfuffle. And he tried driving back home. He was not fit to drive. I took the keys from him, out of the ignition really quick, and unbeknownst to me, he had a spare set in his bib overalls. I'm like, oh shit. He put it in there. Nearly ran over my son. I'm like, okay. I called my dad. I said, I need you. He drove like a bat out of hell to my house. He was there within minutes. Like, he literally drove insane amounts. He knew by the tone of my voice. All I said was, I need you. He knew, I got to get there. In the meantime, my great uncle pulls up. Just father orchestrated it. He pulls up and he goes, what are you doing? I said, to Grandpa. And I said, we got a problem here. And so dad and my uncle, great uncle, took him to his other son, my uncle, my dad's brother. He put him in a home. And my grandpa begged me to take me back home. He said, I'll pay your house off. I will do anything, you know. And I said, Grandpa, if I was in charge, it would be run differently. But I'm not in charge. He had put his son, not my dad, put his other son in charge of everything. So he ended up dying in a nursing home. And I would go and see him, you know, regularly. And he said to me one time, I did it all wrong. I did it all wrong. That's all he could say. I am not going to cry. That was his apology to me. That's all he said. I knew what he meant. He knew that he should have put me in charge. Because if I'd have been in charge, I would have moved heaven and earth to make sure that man was either in his home with someone there with him all the time, or he was in my home and I had help so I could take better care of him and the children at the same time. But because he chose who he chose, that was the consequences thereof. Our choices are important. Let me ask Father why he had me share that story. I shared the story about Grandpa because I wasn't put in charge of his life. Had I been in charge of his life, I would have done it in a way that would have been a blessing to my grandpa, so that he could have ended his life in a way that was honorable to him and would have been more comforting, would have been more life-giving, would have had love, light, life there. He would have gotten to make more of the decisions for himself instead of having no control at all. I would have honored my grandfather had I been in charge of his resources, his life. I wasn't in charge of his life. Therefore, I didn't get a say. I just had to watch him lose all control of his life, and then how that was devastating to him. When Father gives me the authority, the power, the control, the ownership of all of his resources, then I will do it my way. And it will be honorable to Father, to Christ, to Holy Spirit, to what he wanted when he created mankind to begin with. Because that's what I want. Those are the desires he's put in my heart. Love and intimacy, to bring life and blessings, health to the people. Health to the people. Body, soul, and spiritual health. I want to do a deep clean of this earth. Every bit, every crack, every crevice, every corner, every nook, every cranny on the earth, all the land, all the water, and all the people. We got to do a purge. It needs to be cleaned up by fire, the purification fire. The population needs thinned. The herd is too big. He has me watch so many justice related shows. Arrest cam videos, body cam videos, police videos, interrogations, trials, serial killers, documentaries, mafia. If it's criminal anything, if it's got any aspect of the justice system at all on this earth, I have had years of watching that stuff and talking to Father repeatedly about all of those things. It's funny because Hannah and I were talking about The Godfather yesterday because we were talking about Robert Duvall. I was talking about Michael Caine and Robert Duvall and Kevin Costner. And she was saying, what's Robert Duvall been in? She didn't know. And I was like, well, so I was naming movies that he'd been in. And I said, The Godfather. And she's like, I've never watched that. I said, I tried. I watched the first one and part of the second one, and I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. I don't like those movies at all. And she was like, why don't you like them? Because everybody raves about them. I'm like, I know, I don't like them. Don't like them at all. I tried to like them. I tried. I love Al Pacino and Robert Duvall. And So she said, why don't you like them? And I had to think about it for a little bit. And I'm like, you know what it is? If I have watched years of crime syndicate shows, mafia shows, that kind of stuff, documentaries, interviews, investigations, that kind of thing. And I said, if I'm going to spend time watching that kind of stuff, and I have, then I want to watch what's real. I don't want to watch a story that's made up. I want to watch one that's real. So I would rather watch a documentary of what actually happened. They were arrested. This was the investigation. This is the evidence. I want to watch what was true and what was real. I don't want to watch something that's just a made up story in someone's head that's loosely based off of what happens by actors. I want to see the real thing. I'm always all about the truth and what is real over what is not true and what is not real. She's like, that makes perfect sense about you. I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't like the Godfather stuff. Okay, so why did I share about the Godfather? I want to do a deep clean. I want to do a deep clean. And I've been talking about that for years now. All these things that I want to do to clean up the house, which would be the earth. The earth feels like the earth would be my footstool. And so I want to clean it up. I have a lot of plans to do a deep clean. And the population needs thinned. As I've watched all these documentaries, investigative shows, interrogations, police cam videos, trials, prisons. I've watched a lot of prison documentaries, the worst prisons in the world, and giving tours. I'm trying to say tours instead of tour. I always say tour. So I'm trying to say tours and wash instead of wash. It's very hard to change how I speak. But the prison documentaries, I want to clean up the prisons. They're overcrowded. There's a way to clean that up. Way to clean that up. Society needs cleaned up. As I have watched these police videos, the body cam, people just being so disrespectful to police, dishonorable, disobedient, something so simple as a traffic stop. Like Bruce Rivers, I watched Bruce Rivers, criminal defense attorney. He says, don't turn a misdemeanor into a felony. A simple traffic stop, don't turn it into a felony. And stop self-snitching, you know? So I'm like, it's crazy how they turn such a simple traffic stop into this blown out, crazy thing, and they end up in jail with felony charges. I'm like, this needs fixed. I've got a solution for that. I've got a solution for that. We have become a disobedient, lawless society. I want to do a deep clean. Clean up the pollution, the toxicity, the cancer that's pervasive. The yeast works through a whole batch of dough. I want to clean that up. And I got some plans to do that. So I am excited about Christ saying, I'm going to give you my kingdom. Oh, yes. Give it to me, baby. Give me the keys. I'm truly just sitting here waiting on Christ to show up, to give me his kingdom, to give me the keys of his kingdom. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm excited, really excited about it. Father, is there anything else you want me to say on this video? Because I feel like my teapot's been poured out and I'm empty. I feel like there's something there. What is that? What am I feeling? Because I feel like there's something, a loose end, something that's not tied. What do you want me to know about that? I am coming. I hear that. I am coming to tie up the loose ends. I am coming to tie up the loose ends. Okay, I like that. To bring closure, to bring healing, to bring restoration. To me. I like that. Time to start a new family. Oh, how that feels good. Time to go home to the place he has prepared for me and start a new family, a new life. Oh, wow. Wow, that feels good. So healing. Thank you. So loving. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the sacrifices. Thank you for the offerings. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for caring. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for pulling me. Thank you for carrying me. Thank you for dragging me. Thank you for spanking me. Thank you. Okay. So I wasn't going to cry and I did anyway. Damn. Well, there you go. Okay. I'm going to sign off. Let me see. I have a little light. It's still on. This is good. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to say or know while I'm on this video, or can I close the video out now? Hold on. I don't have 100% peace to shut it off yet. What am I missing, Father? Tell me what I'm missing. Okay, I don't know what this means. And it seems weird, but hell, everything I say is crazy sounding. I just feel like I'm supposed to say to be continued. Okay, to be continued. And I feel peaceful about shutting it off now.